Hey guys, CMPraiser99 here with another top 10 and some more Game of Thrones. I've really been into Game of Thrones because I've been rewatching the show, so I've got a bunch of lists for you all about Game of Thrones. This one is for my top 10 characters of the whole series. And I do want to give out a big spoiler warning, so if you haven't seen all the show, you probably should, and then come back and watch this. At number 10 is Sansa Stark. Really, in the beginning, she wasn't that big to me. I kind of thought she was kind of bitchy, but later on in the show, especially this season, she's actually gotten really badass and really cool. Number 9, Oberyn Martell. Didn't last very long, but Oberyn's really cool because of his approach to straight up wanting to kill the Lannisters and letting them know that. Number 8 is Tywin Lannister, the most important person in Westeros. He just set an example to everyone. He was the only one in the whole show that could make the king go to bed. Like, he was the only one with the actual real power in the world. Number 7 is Arya. I know her storyline lately has been kind of but she's coming back to Westeros now, which is good, so her story will get more interesting. But I just love how she's a badass, and she knows she's a badass, and she's always off on her own for most of the show, and just takes on life as it comes to her. Number 6 is Jaime Lannister. I'm always a fan of the bad guys gone good, and I've always loved his story of how he killed the Mad King, really to save everyone, even though he comes off as this bad guy at first, and how he loses his hand and recovers from that. Number 5 is Daenerys. Daenerys has to be near the top of everyone's list. She's just a powerhouse in herself, and she's the last real Targaryen, and we all kind of want to root for her and her dragons. Number 4 is Robb Stark. I've always liked Robb Stark because he had a goal to avenge his father, and I thought it was really cool. He tried to be just like his father, and unfortunately he ended up just like his father. But he always had that mindset of wanting to do the right thing, kind of like Ned. Number 3 is everyone's favorite midget, Tyrion Lannister. He's just so funny, and he's really, really smart. It's like season 2 Tyrion was probably the best Tyrion because he was just the smartest at being the hand of the king. He was really good at it, and I think him killing his father like that showed so much about his character. And he's just full of these surprises. You never know what to expect with Tyrion. Number 2 is Ned Stark, the most honorable man in Westeros. Just the way his sister had a baby with Rhaegar Targaryen, and he is able to keep that a secret from Robert, who wanted to kill all the Targaryens, just amazes me how honorable he actually is. How he was willing to tell everyone, including his wife, that Jon Snow was actually a bastard, but in reality he was never his son, he was Lyanna's and Rhaegar's. That just makes me love Ned even more. And number 1 is Jon Snow. I believe Jon Snow is gonna be the savior of the world in this thing. All the wars down in the south don't really matter. What matters is what he's going through up in the north. And I think some of the best moments in the show have happened with him, like the entire episode of Battle of the Bastards, and the scene at Hardhome, and just how honorable Jon Snow is too, and how he wants to be just like Ned, and he always thinks, what would his father do? Well guys, that's my top 10 characters of the show. Let me know what your top 10 is in the comments below. See ya.